Alright guys, so normally I don't like to do videos this close together, so we posted one earlier this morning about mesh shaders and the RTX and RX series cards and how they did with that feature. But not long after publishing it and actually getting ready to go out and venture through the snow to make a delivery, we got hit by some really big news, and I think it's very important that we go ahead and share that with you guys and explain why it's such a big news and why it's encouraging for the market, because it seems like Nvidia is actually doing something to combat the fact that all of their cards are going to miners right now. Now, they can't do a whole lot about the scalpers just yet. That's going to be on the people selling the cards, so like the third-party sellers. So what it looks like Nvidia is doing is actually with the launch of the RTX 3060, which is on the 25th of February, which is coming up in, just a few days now, it seems like, and they're actually going to have an algorithm in the drivers going forward detecting if it's got an RTX card, or GeForce card rather, and it's going to have the effective mining rate of it. So it's going to basically GIMP it through the driver. Now, you know, people can always pick up an older driver, I presume, unless they're going to just pull all those drivers, or if they're going to retroactively inject whatever they're doing into previous drivers. So that I haven't seen and heard. But what it'll do is drivers that you're going to need to run the RTX 3060, yeah, you're not going to want to mine with those, because you're going to get effectively half of the mining rate, which is huge for gamers. And, well, it's horrible for miners if you're a miner, or if you're a gamer who was hoping to mine a little bit. That's not as common as it sounds. It seems like a lot of people aren't really intrigued by the idea of pounding the daylights out of their graphics card. But the fact that they're actually doing something, even if it's just through the drivers, to discourage and dissuade people from even considering cards like the RTX 3060, and based on reports that we have going up until this point, the 3060 is going to be one of the most readily available of all of the Ampere cards so far, which is huge. So more cards and a much more attractive price point. We may actually see these prices come closer to MSRP, but it's, again, that's going to be up to the retailers and the e-tailers, and without there being a Founders Edition version of the card, it's really going to be up to those third parties and how they price it. So I can't really speak to that, but if you are a miner, or if you're wondering what else they're doing to curtail GeForce cards going to miners, they introduced a new architecture. So I don't have notes for this one, I just have some things on my phone, so if I'm looking down and not at the camera, you know what's going on. So CMP, so Nvidia CMP HX is a dedicated GPU for mining algorithm. So it's for professional miners. This isn't going to be sold, like, you're not going to go to Best Buy and pick this up. You're going to have to go through official distributors or partners to get this, and they are optimized for mining. So they run a lower core voltage, lower frequency on the core. They have different memory, and they actually have the Ethereum hash rate listed here. So let's go through the lineup here. So you have the 30X, which does 26 megahash per second at 125 watts rated with a single 8-pin and 6 gigs of memory. Now, availability starting this quarter in Q1. So this should take a lot of the demand over from GeForce cards into these. This is kind of a way of like throwing a bone to that community. Now they have the 40X, which is a much more attractive one at 36 megahash at 185 watts with this, again, a single 8-pin and 8 gigs of VRAM, and that's available in Q1. Now the 50X is 45 megahash, 250 watts, 2 8-pins, 10 gigs. That's going to be next quarter. And then the big boy is the 90X, which is 86 megahash and 320 watts with 2 8-pins and 10 gigs of memory. As it say, memory size, it just says memory size, probably G5, maybe G6. Who knows at this point what they're going to do, but I'm sure you could tweak those a bit. Those aren't going to have display outs. It's just going to be like a mining card like what they've had before. So you may say, well, Keith, how much are Nvidia going to waste by doing this? Who knows? These are probably cores that weren't going to make it into the GeForce cards that they can now reuse, and as a company standpoint, they're going to make a buttload off of both of these. If they can get the GeForce cards in the hands of gamers now, they're going to get all of those sales. People are itching for it, and nobody seems to be able to supply enough to anyone. Nobody. And AMD is in a pretty tough spot. Sure, there's some new models with the Sapphire Toxic coming out, but I mean, good luck getting those. But now, and so the ball's kind of in AMD's court at this point. Nvidia is stepping up, and they're doing something huge to combat mining the best they can. And well, what's AMD going to do? It'll be interesting to see. Maybe it'd be advanced mining devices. So we'll see what that goes. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one down in the comment section below. And for more on this and other news, follow the link in the description and make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell so that we don't miss you in the next one.